Russia is a great energy superpower. Of course, we export a lot of fossil fuels, and this is why cooperation with foreign partners in the field of energy is a very important area of our national interests. But this is only a part of the story. Russia can help the neighboring countries, countries of the Asia-Pacific region in particular, to ensure their energy security. And this is one of the roles Russia can play in pursuing its peaceful foreign policy, a policy of cooperation with our immediate neighbors and our partners in Asia and the Pacific at large. Actually, the Asia-Pacific region is an ideal platform for energy cooperation. In this region, we have a country like Russia, which possesses abundant energy resources, and countries like China, Japan, Republic of Korea, and many other stakeholders who import a large amount of hydrocarbons to sustain their economic and social development. In this regard, in the Asia-Pacific, we see a win-win situation where we have suppliers of energy, importers of energy, and transit countries. The only thing that we lack is policy coordination, appropriate infrastructure, connectivity, and of course we need a full-fledged dialogue on energy cooperation. I think that in the future we will also have to place emphasis on new technologies and innovations, including in the field of energy. This is why our dialogue in many areas of energy cooperation, from infrastructure development to technological cooperation, is a very important priority, not only for Russia, but for all countries of the region. I think the Asia-Pacific region is so diverse that we have space for everyone in this energy cooperation. And Russia is also a very attractive partner because we are working not only in the field of the supply of fossil fuels like oil, gas, coal, but we have very strong competitive advantages in such areas as hydropower, nuclear power, and other renewable sources of energy. So I think that the future of the Asia-Pacific region is linked with energy cooperation in a very strong way. Asia and the Pacific is one of the priority areas of our foreign policy. In this region, we have our strategic partners like China. With China, we forged an energy alliance, and now Russia is not only working with China in such areas as security, economic and investment cooperation, trade, cultural exchanges, foreign policy coordination, to name a few. But we have become the biggest supplier of China in terms of energy resources. As you know, we have built an oil pipeline from Russia to China, the construction of a gas pipeline, the Power of Siberia, is in full swing, and in a couple of years it will be put into operation. We're also working with China in the field of nuclear energy. We have already built several nuclear power plants, and there are plans for more. So China, as the most dynamic economy and one of the biggest economies in the world, is strongly linked with Russia, with the energy bonds. Japan is another very promising partner of Russia as a huge economy in the Asia Pacific, and an economy which is clearly dependent on the import of energy resources. ASEAN is another important partner of Russia, and as we are promoting the initiative of President of Russia, Mr. Vladimir Putin, to establish the Greater Eurasian Partnership, which will be joined by the Eurasian Economic Union member states, Shanghai Cooperation Organization member states, and ASEAN member states. So this large pastures of the Eurasian continent can and should be integrated in many ways, including in the field of energy. And I think this is one of the directions that we will follow in the years ahead. Another important initiative, which also has been put forward by the Russian leader, is to establish a Northeast Asia energy superring. By superring, we mean the desirability and actually the clear opportunity to link countries of Northeast Asia, Russia, Japan, the Republic of Korea, and China. Maybe some other countries will also join with electricity lines and energy supply infrastructure. This will make the producers of energy and the importers of energy parts of a coordinated system of energy cooperation. So as you see, our plans to engage the Asia-Pacific countries in intensive energy cooperation are on the top of our agenda as regards to our foreign policy in the Asia-Pacific region. I think ESCAP is perfectly fit for the purpose of working out the framework for dialogue on energy in the Asia-Pacific region. ESCAP is the largest regional commission of the United Nations, 53 countries. And this strong representation gives us a unique chance to streamline our dialogue and cooperation on energy issues within the well-established UN system. I think it is the life itself which has pushed the energy agenda to the forefront of what the ESCAP is doing. Even if you take economic development, social development, achieving sustainable development goals, all this is not possible without energy. So energy cooperation is one of the prerequisites for any development in the Asia-Pacific region. From this perspective, the work that Russia and other member states have launched within the ESCAP framework is very commendable. And actually, it has already led to the initial results. For example, in the course of the conference structure reform, we have agreed on setting up a new committee, energy committee, which held its first session last year. And we are now deliberating on the follow-up to the agreements reached during this first Energy Committee session. I think the coming ESCAP annual session in May will give a further impetus to the development of energy cooperation. Another important initiative that we have jump-started in the framework of the ESCAP was the Asia-Pacific Energy Forum. As you remember, the first Energy Forum was held in Vladivostok, Russian Federation, in 2013, and the declaration that was adopted provided a clear-cut guidelines for energy dialogue and cooperation in the Asia-Pacific. This time, in early April, we are going to have the second Asia-Pacific Energy Forum here in Bangkok. And I think through our common efforts, we will continue the development of energy cooperation within this broad framework of dialogue. Russia is trying to be instrumental in the promotion of energy cooperation within the Asia-Pacific Energy Forum. Since 2013, Russia has donated up to $2 million to various technical projects to sustain the implementation and support mechanism of the Asia-Pacific Energy Forum. And we are ready to continue to play this role in the future.